What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show, the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I got some Kings with me today. J5 here with special guests. I'm going to explain the special guests in a second here. So I got Cyrus here from the War Report. What's going on, Cyrus?
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be back.
And I have Dugger, a patron from our Patreon. So yesterday I went in our Discord.
I know what this is. Oh my God, don't tell me.
What?
I just realized why we're here now. Oh my God.
Why are we here?
Because yesterday on the Discord, Justin went into the Discord and put, hey, somebody pick a number 1 through 100. I picked 22. I don't know what Duggar picked, but I just realized that's how we got chosen.
Yes. So the number was 24. Duggar got it right on the nose.
Okay.
And to make it fun, because you got close, you were second actually, Cyrus, because you were 22. And I said, let me just get the two runner. Let me get the winner and the runner up on the show. So that's why you guys are on the show. So I think the next closest was Z, I believe, and it would have probably been maybe. Nah, I wouldn't have been. It would have been Z and somebody else. I can't remember because it went from like his 27 or something to like 88, and I was like, all right. But it was 24. So this is why you guys are on the show. Congratulations, y'all.
I'm about to go play the lotto, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that was that's how I got picked.
So we are week 2 on Meelz' vacation. This is the last week of his vacation. He will be back next week, but I had to do something really special. I couldn't find anyone. Well, I couldn't find anyone, but I was just like, you know what? I want to get the patrons involved somehow, and see how to do it in an easier way. And you know, you guys came through. So shout out to you two.
All right. I'm looking at the numbers now. So Duggar hit it on the nose. I picked 22. DMV fan, he picked 27 and Z was 28. So
yeah, it would have been Z and DMV. But he got on the nose, and of course, you know, you round back. You know, you round your numbers back when it's before 5. So it was 24 and 22. So that's how I got picked. So yeah, basic math, folks. So I had to deal with an emergency right before we got on this call to do the show today. My youngest dog. Okay, so it's raining really bad in LA. Okay, so completely understand. I haven't been. They don't want to go to the bathroom. Okay, at all. So this morning, literally 30 minutes ago, I said I'm going to take them out right before 9:00 when we do the show, and they're going to use the bathroom. They both used the bathroom. They were like they've been holding it for a day. They've been holding it. They used it. They did everything because they just won't go. Like dogs just don't like to have their paws wet. Like if you're a dog owner, you know how tough it is when it's raining, and it's been raining in California for 2 straight weeks now. So, I'm getting ready. I'm setting everything up, and my youngest dog comes. She's not even a puppy anymore. She turned 2 in November. She walks up. I'm chilling. I turn my head, and she took a shit on the floor in my office.
Couldn't even wait.
And then she ran under the and she's not the type, like my dogs aren't the type that go to the door when they have to go. Like they have a schedule. Like they usually go in the morning, they go afternoon, and they go after they eat, maybe around 6:00. And so like she usually knows like this is my time to go. Like she usually never breaks that. And she took a shit, ran under the desk, and was like, my bad. Sorry.
Couldn't hold it, big dog.
My bad, fam. I didn't mean to do that, but you know, shit got crazy.
I literally was like, what the fuck, Ray? What the fuck? And I took her downstairs, and I put her back downstairs, and she on her own said, you know what? I fucked up, and went to her crate and shut it and went to bed. So
at least we know dogs are self-aware like that.
Yeah, she knew that she fucked up, went downstairs, ran in, she basically shut her own crate, and then was like, all right, my bad. Roman is looking like, what happened? Because usually he's the one to burn her out. He's the one that snitches. If she pees on the floor or something, he runs up. He will literally run up to us and like motion like with his head to the ground, like, look. Look,
Oh
it won't
wow!
me. Look,
Fucking snitch out boy.
he puts it down for the family. Okay, he lets me know. He lets me
So
know.
so basically, he was going through it because he couldn't snitch. He was like, "Wait, hold on. This is my time."
I mean, so that's what happened right before the show. But of course, we're in the new year. We're rolling. Duggar, what are you up to, man? How you feeling, brother?
I'm trying to maintain, man. I'm trying to stay low key. Just going through the whole, new year, new me, same old bullshit. But I'm just working, chilling, watching TV, and trying to not let the Lakers stress me out. Of course,
Well, they shouldn't have been stressing you out for the past couple of weeks because they are on a 5-game winning streak.
it's been nice. It's been nice, and I've appreciated it. I know they took a L last night, but I was asleep, so it was cool. But they've been off to a better start.
Do you
What do we
think?
lose to?
Wait, do you think that they took the L because you weren't watching?
Maybe, potentially, possibly. Possibly. It's an off night. They knew it was Monday, and I wasn't going to stay up to watch. They played Denver last night, and Braun didn't even play. So it was just kind of one of those, all right, y'all do what y'all got to do. Don't get too embarrassed. I think they only lost by like 9 or something like that. So it wasn't too bad, but they need to get it right.
9 to me is a blowout.
Really?
Damn. Really?
And yes, 9 to me. Listen, if I turn to a Lakers game, it's the second quarter and we down by 7. I'm cutting it off. I can't do it. We're gonna lose.
I was always of the belief like 15 points. If you down 15, you kind of getting smoked. But I don't know. Now that the game is like so, everybody can shoot threes now. So it's just like that might not. I might have to like widen that margin a little bit more.
I think you're good. My rule the last few years, honestly, has been like only Golden State is like we are down 20 and it's not over. They're the only ones I give that great because I've seen it too many times. Like I know there was a few years ago they were playing the Clippers. They were down 27 in the fourth quarter and won by 15. So I've seen it too many times with them. But everyone else, yeah, you down 15 plus, I'm changing the channel.
I can't. They stress me too much, man. They stress like 5-game winning streak. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like I really can't. You know what I mean? I really cannot with this team. I don't even know if we're gonna make it to the playoffs.
Boo! No Lakers in the playoffs, man. Y'all
I can't call it.
Cyrus, you don't even have a team. Hold on, Cyrus doesn't have a team.
I don't have a team.
What are you saying to me?
Whenever the game is on, I just be like, all right, I'll pick between these two. I don't have a designated team.
It saves you a lot of sanity, though.
Cyrus is literally the Uncle Howdy of NBA fandom, bro. He just shows up
when I need to, bro. But I'm very observant, bro.
Does whatever he needs. It doesn't matter. Like whatever. Like I'm pretty much just gonna show up and cause chaos. I don't give a fuck.
Of course.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it is better. It's better to at least be on the side of something. And Duggar, I know you're a huge Laker fan, even though you're in New York, right?
Yeah. So like I've been rooting for the Lakers since I think like 2001. And it was a combination of like every time I watch the Knicks, they lose. And who is this dude in this number 8 jersey? He's mad nice.
Yeah.
So between those two and like everyone in New York kind of has like one New York team they really cling to. So mine is still the Knicks. Like if they're good, they're good. If they lose, you just kind of expect it. And you just kind of deal with it. But so they're still in my hearts, honestly. I watched them. They lost last night too, actually, now that I think about it. Lost by like 4. And I was like, damn, these niggas always disappointing me. But
hey, speaking of the Knicks, I was kicking down buildings last weekend. Like Snoop.
I heard about this.
I thought you was banned in New York, bro.
I was like, hey, I thought I was too, but you know what? I was walking around there like it wasn't really nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really out there. You feel me? Like what were they gonna do to me? What were they gonna do with me, bruh? I was in Soho, I was in Manhattan, I went uptown, I went downtown. Only place I didn't go to was the Bronx and Brooklyn. I was in Queens. I was all over the place, man. I was global.
Did you have fun? Did you have fun at least? Is the
I had a
question.
blast. I did not think that I would enjoy New York as much as I did this time around. And I think it was because I really got to do it, on my own. And I walked around, I explored, and I really got to see why people hustle so much in what I'm saying, in New York. Like I understood it this time, if you will.
That makes sense. If you people who all my friends that are like don't live in New York, they always ask me like, "Oh, what should I do when I get there?" I'm like, "Just show up." And it's the one place where like fuck around and find out is kind of the way to go here.
Yeah.
Because like I don't like they'll ask me about tourist stuff to do, and I'm like, I don't ever do any of that. I mean, you can do it if you want to, but like I would avoid it. Just if you don't got plans, this is the perfect city to be in because there's mad shit to do. So have fun, fuck around and find out.
Right. No, and I mean, as you guys saw on Twitter this weekend, me and Meelz finally met each other in person for the first time. I've known Meelz, I think 10 years this year, I think, or even 11 years maybe. Been doing this show for 5 years. We never actually met in person. And my wife was like, "What was it like?" And I was like, "I mean, like normal." Like I talked to Meelz.
Your heart didn't flutter, bruh. You ain't have butterflies, man.
I mean, the last
No,
barrier.
nothing.
The last barrier was just meeting him in person. Like it wasn't. It was, you know what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like he talked differently. You know what I mean. Like it was just like, oh damn, we finally met. All right, you know what I mean. So I don't know.
You didn't even hit the man. Damn, he taller than I thought. Not even that.
Nothing.
He's definitely buff, but I mean, he ain't more buff than me. You know what I'm saying? Like
This nigga lying.
he's definitely not stronger than me. So I mean, I wasn't. You know what I mean?
I like it. He changed it to buff to strong. I mean, stronger from buff. He know the truth, bro.
You know me, like that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I just feel as though, you know what I'm saying, when we met, that was kind of just like the, oh man, we finally breached this milestone, our relationship. I really wanted to like video the whole thing, but I was just so tired when I finally saw him that first night I was there. I was just like, fuck it, let's just walk around the city and talk, man, because like I feel like, Meelz is my brother and I've known him for such a long time, but in his absence, you know what I'm saying, but being in his presence, it was actually really important. So it was a special moment for the show, a special moment for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And we went out to eat, we laughed, we cried, we went to manga stores. Let me tell you, man, the manga stores in New York are crazy. All right.
Man, there's this big manga store that I keep seeing on TikTok, and I'm just like, Meelz,
We
you
went
have
there.
to stop by for me, bro.
That's where we went.
And he ain't tell me, bro. I would have cashed out something, man.
Hey, we went there. It was crazy enough, but the thing is that it did not feel COVID safe. I'll say that it was just way too bunched in and crunched up. So
All the nerds in there. That's why.
Yeah, COVID safety is a wrap in this city, man. It's you got you on your own on that one. If you wearing I'm still wearing a mask wherever I go, but we are one of few people still doing that.
Oh, I definitely did not see many masks. I definitely saw many people around, naked faced. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's New York. You know what I'm saying? Y'all mayor was cool with it, and that's where it is.
Hey, once Biden said, "Damn, pandemic over." Come on, man.
And the mask flew the fuck off, bitch. Anyway,
every sign that said "keep a mask on," them shits just disappeared. Them shits vanished.
But we're gonna go over to Patreon. We have a remembering the Rumble for this week that I feel like is gonna be very special and important and really cool. So we're gonna hop over to Patreon. We'll be right back with No Holds Barred. All right, we're back. Patreon had a really good segment, remembering the Rumble, New York edition. So I'll let you guys guess which Rumble we talked about there. But we're back with No Holds Barred, and of course, there's a lot of news that came out last week. Some big, some confusing, some what the fuck. But we got to start off with the big news of the week. Well, I mean, it was the big news of the week until like literally a day later, something else happened. But I'll start with this. Mercedes Monè made her return to wrestling. The former Sasha Banks. We ended the watch. A new watch began. Mercedes watch. Debuted at New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom event, Wrestle Kingdom 17. Made her intentions known that she wanted to face Kairi Hojo at the New Japan event in San Jose, Battle in the Valley, which is now sold out, which good for them. But I mean, I want to get you guys' thoughts. I mean, when this happened, I said initially that the reception was mixed, and then I actually got corrected, and they were like, "No, the reception is absolutely not mixed. It is absolutely negative. It was terrible." And I just want to get you guys' thoughts on this before I kind of get into like where I felt about this whole thing happening and where I think this could happen. And I'm glad we have Cyrus on the show because there's another big rumor about her that's supposed to be happening this week. But what do you guys think about the debut at Wrestle Kingdom?
I can't say I cared, to be honest with you. Like it's one of those things where like I'm glad she is in some way, shape, or form back to working. And I'm glad that like this, at least this part of it is over. But like I knew, like I was up, mind you, because I was like I was traveling, so like I was actually up, and I was like I didn't care about it. And then I saw like some clips of it. I heard the music. I was like, what is this music? Shout outs to Amp who posted that it was a video of her dancing to her theme song, and now I can't get the tweet out of my head because he said she dances like Brian Pumper, and now nothing is the same. But like, yeah, there wasn't really I'm happy for her. Like, good job. Like, you are doing whatever you want to do. But a part of me is just also like, all right, man, whatever. Like, how this is going to last until your next beef with somebody. Like, I'm not trying to be mean spirited a it, but like, there's a bit of like a spoiled brat to it kind of way of like, when you don't get your way, you're the kid that pouts. And then the parents just let you go do whatever. And then you're happy again. So, like, congrats. But when is it gonna hit the fan? I guess is my thing.
Oh, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop,
right? And it feels like it's only a matter of time before it's like, oh, Sasha's unhappy or Mercedes is unhappy and she's taking another break, and it's like, all right. And I want to know how people gonna handle that when that happens.
I agree. I spoke a little bit about it on the War Report last week, and I'll just say that since it happened on Wrestle Kingdom, I did not care. I am known like I don't like watching New Japan. I think the product is very cold and terrible right now. So I was up trying to sleep, trying to watch Wrestle Kingdom. At first, the music, the presentation is kind of just like whatever. Whenever she botched her finisher, which I thought it was just like a little mishap. Like, I didn't think it was a botch. I just thought like Kairi was just like, nah, you're not about to hit me with that shit, and like kind of like reverse it a little bit. Then I saw it in slow motion, and I was just like, oh, nah, that's just trash. Definitely botched it, bro. If Mercedes continues to be like under the New Japan umbrella and not the Stardom umbrella, then I really don't care.
Right.
That's how I feel.
And well, you know, New Japan owns Stardom, so like they're all going to be under. I feel as though it's smart. Like, other than like the financial part of it, I feel like it is smart for New Japan to pay Sasha or Mercedes or whatever that much money to do what she's doing. I do wonder if there's people in the back that are at Stardom who are, you know what I'm saying, they've been busting their ass to like relative silence on these shows. I do wonder if they feel a type of way about, you know, him just doing that. But you also got to think about the money that she could bring, and is already showing. I mean, you know, she's already showing that she's at least for the time being going to be selling out these shows because people want to see they want to see what she's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? They want to see where she's gonna end up.
I get that, but it's just like it's gonna be on a New Japan product though, so like I kind of don't care. Like if New Japan is gonna be like, okay, we have Mercedes Monè, and then like whatever, we'll pick like a random Stardom like wrestler every now and then and like put it on our shows. That's not gonna make me want to watch, honestly. Like I know that New Japan does like own Stardom or like Bushiroad or whatever, but like let's just transition her over there because I don't want to have to sit through any New Japan match to watch her wrestle.
I think that I think that's really what they might do, Cyrus. I think that they might have it where she does represent.
I'm out. I no longer care.
Where she does represent kind of both entities, where she is in Stardom. Well, I mean, she's going after, and she could also be in the New Japan part. You know what I'm saying? Like she could be in both. I feel like it would be smart for them to do both. But I do get it because New Japan's women's division part is kind of like underdeveloped.
Open lane.
Yeah, and they need names. You know what I mean? And they need lanes, and I get it on that end. And it makes sense to that. I think that when you leave that spotlight, there's a lot of questions and a lot of doubts. And I know a lot of people are like, you're being really harsh on her, but I honestly don't see people being any more or less harsh on her than they were on Andrade, on Alistair, on a lot of other people. I can say that there are probably people that are really, really hard on her about it. But I have the same questions that I have for those people. You know what I mean? How is this going to work outside of the Sheen and the production? Some people, it works for them. Like people like Mox, it didn't work, and he ends up flourishing better when there's less of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And with Mercedes, Sasha, whatever, like she was able to work with some of the greatest talent in the world. You know what I mean? Like no doubt about it, no question about it. Some of the greatest talent in the world. And I'm just wondering how it's going to fare when you know what I'm saying? These are not matches that they practice heavily anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're not facing the same people. I think that the segment that she debuted in was not the greatest. I'm willing to give nervousness a part of that, but I also felt as though the crowd didn't really react to it. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like they were just kind of like,
like not even like many gas or like a whoa. Like I know that I believe that they kind of have to like not make noise still, but it was just like, damn, y'all can at least clap or some shit.
They broke all of the rules for Ospreay and Omega. Like I don't even want to hear that part. Like people say like, oh, they can't cheer. Bro, they certainly did not give a fuck during the Ospreay Omega match. They were cheering and chanting and clapping. Like they gave a fuck. Like I could hear a fucking pin drop when Sasha was doing that promo. And I'm wondering, like, they should just not have her like talk. They should just have her wrestle.
Yeah. Talking is kind of not her strongest suit. So maybe she should be doing a lot less of that. Especially like you don't have weekly television. So like y'all can just announce the match and then keep it pushing.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like it's now we have the rumor that she could potentially be showing up on AEW Dynamite this week. And that gives me even more of a concern because, as I've said on this very show, listen, man, these people and the women in that locker room, it is, from what we know, a more contentious locker room than any women's locker room that we know of right now.
Just everything that we heard in the past 6 months, what makes you want to go over there besides just get a bag?
I need it.
Like
honestly,
dog, we heard people getting beaten up, people hiding in stalls, fear for their lives while they're in that shit. Everybody's I hate to like say this about the women, but everybody's catty, everybody's like clicked up. So it's just like who is gonna have your back in that locker room? Because if you're gonna come in with the diva shit, like I don't need nobody, I don't need to be clicked up with nobody, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get fucked up. Like this is like it sounds like some prison shit out in that women's division, bro.
I don't ever watch what's the show the Bucks do? To Being the Elite?
Yeah, Being the Elite.
But if she shows up, I need all cameras backstage documenting every single thing. And I'll tune in. I don't watch AEW. Shout outs to E from Black Announce Table. I'm just like him. I check in every once a month to make sure it's still trash. But if she shows up, just for all like the backstage that we've been that we've been hearing over the past few months. Yeah, I need to see how she handles that because yeah, she don't have. I can't think of who her friends would be. I guess it would be.
Soraya.
It's
I
going to
guess.
her and Tony Storm going to share war stories about Charlotte.
Jesus, this is gonna be a Charlotte Flair support group.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, Sasha, we should have did what I did. Leave 30 days after she beat you. Listen, man. One thing about it, and I'd make the Punk comparison because you have two very, I won't say volatile, but very outspoken talent in that locker room. If she does come through, or and whatever deal that she does with Tony Khan and AEW, but the thing is that when Punk came in, he wanted to be a locker room leader. I have never really heard that type of conversation surrounding Sasha Banks of her being a leader of the locker room. Like I've always kind of heard it would be Becky or Bianca or someone else in that manner. I would wonder what her purpose and goal would be in the AEW's women division. Like I think that they have a solid women's division when they give them time. I think Jamie Hayter is extremely talented, probably my favorite woman on that roster. I wouldn't say that they have more talent than a WWE. I just can't say that. It's just the proof is right there. I would wonder how she would be elevating it when I feel as though the actual talent pool is lower.
I'll say this is that a lot of people that come into AEW after they like come to WWE, they either have the mindset of, well, depending on where they were at the top of the card, and Sasha was on top at the top of the card, so usually they'll come in and be like, "I'm here to kind of like elevate the next generation, blah blah blah, this and that," and it's just like, I don't know if Sasha was interested in elevating a women's division, she probably wouldn't have left over a job. So she's definitely coming to take over.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that's going to fare well with a lot of people. A Britt Baker.
That's my thing. Like we talked about before, like I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop. Like, all right, it's gonna be all good. But what happens when Tony says, "Hey, it's time for you to take that L," and Sasha's gonna be looking at, "You want me to take an L to this person?"
Like Tony Khan gonna look at it, "Hey man, I'm gonna need you to do this job," and she's gonna be like, "Huh?" and then come out with the boo boo face and lose.
Yep.
Or just not show up.
She's not trying to lose to Britt. I can't see it.
But you know what she will.
Y'all don't think she would. Y'all don't think she would lose to Britt?
No.
Why would she? Honestly, like I'm kind of with her. Why would she?
I feel like with that situation, it's like Britt got to eat some shit here. This is a bigger star, but on the same accord with Britt, it's like I was your star, and you keep bringing all these people in, Thunder Rosa, or like Sasha Banks, all these people, and it's like, how you doing this to me? Like I would feel away for sure.
The Thunder Rosa is the how you doing this to me, because honestly, I really don't think that Thunder Rosa was even that like fire. It was just like the story would just end at that. Like it would just make sense for the story to end up at this point. But Thunder Rosa is not that hot. But if like Sasha comes in the room and then Tony Khan goes, "Hey man, you're gonna have to lose to Miss Monè," I kind of hit the I get it. I'm not hitting it. I'm not hitting the I get it on those Thunder Rosa who can't get a reaction at all.
True. Thunder Rosa would have to take that L. Britt Baker would probably feel like, nah, I'm gonna talk shit on you and then I'm gonna win the match. But it's like, just looking at the top of the card there, you got Jade, you got Britt, you got Jamie.
Jade is with all the black people, so Monet's not rocking with that.
Yeah, she don't hang out with them. She might be with the colored girls. That's how Monet might feel.
They said it, not me.
I got the evidence to back up my claim.
They said it, not me. But listen, man, I even if she shows up at AEW, you're still dealing with a brand that has a women's division that not many people actually like actively care about. And this would be the same way New Japan is doing I think a very big message that they're trying to get people to take their women's division seriously. I know with Tony Khan, some of it is like gotcha Vince. I know a lot of it is actually gotcha Vince. But with New Japan, I can see a lot of it being that they want to bolster their roster. But I just don't know if that is enough. I don't know if that's the signing that would be enough for people to care. If that makes sense.
No, it does, and it's crazy because to to her credit, if she showed up and say they're like, all right, we're doing you versus Britt off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, whenever that first match happens, it should be like a pay per view event. It should main event,
Right.
and the moment it doesn't main event, she might throw a fit, and that's a rightfully so thing because like it's gonna.
Yeah.
It would be interesting for AEW because it's gonna force them to be like, you actually have someone who is arguably bigger than everyone on your roster, mainstream wise.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with this person? And you do have to put them in these key spots. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't put her in the main event, what's your real reason?
Right.
And their fan base is going to have to decide, like, do they care, do they not? Because if they don't do it, it's their fair shot to go on another, like, give Divas a chance type of thing if they really wanted to. But they won't because they don't care.
I can't
Yeah.
see. She would be firmly in maybe the 5th most important storyline in AEW right now. If she was to enter this, I'm just being real.
No.
They're not main eventing over Mox. They're not main eventing over the Elite. They're not main eventing over MJF. They're not main eventing over who would be next? Cyrus and that probably
Danielson.
the tag titles,
Oh yeah, tag titles as
Yeah,
well.
that'd be 4.
I'll say this. I like just a mishmash of the two thoughts that you guys presented is that like, okay, she comes in. I think it would be a disservice if she doesn't main event at some point. Like that is, this is your big like the people that you named, Justin, like yes, they are hot, but like you got Miss Monet right now where she's like molten hot lava right now.
Mhm.
Capitalize on that.
Mhm.
And I think that like now your eyes are on the women's division. Do something with it. This is your time to really like start, all the times where they said, oh, just wait on it, we got something prepared, blah blah blah, this and that. This is the time where you need to capitalize on it. So it's not going to be Sasha's fault or anybody's fault when they still only get like 12 minutes on TV or some shit, or they still come out at 9:20.
Yeah, nah.
It's just that Tony Khan just really doesn't fucking care. And like this might just be another I got you, Vince, and then he'll just, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, Conan said something that I kind of agree with about Mercedes potentially being there. He says my problem with AEW is that if you look at their past history, if Monet is going to be there, it's going to be a big deal for a couple weeks, and then they won't know what to do with her, just like they don't know what to do with the other 80% of the stars that they bring in.
Yes.
Um, he said he's unsure how AEW would handle them because the whole women's division is Britt, and Britt, and
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
what.
the thing, and another thing that I would like to add to that is that like Tony Khan does not know, or like even since the wrestlers have the creative freedom or whatever, they don't know how to tell a good story.
Mhm.
They just don't. Like I said it last year, like when Moxley was doing all the stupid open challenge things or whatever, and he was like facing a whole bunch of nobodies and losers. It'd be great instead of having Moxley, while we're waiting for Punk to come back, and everybody's just like, well, everybody's injured. Dog, just have one feud that lasts like 3 weeks instead of just beating up a whole bunch of losers that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Tony Khan does not know how to tell a good story, and I don't think the wrestlers do either.
Well, it's certainly not encouraged to.
Yeah, they're not.
They're certainly not encouraged to. But that is going to be our Mercedes watch for this week. If she shows up, hey, she's your problem now, bud. Sorry.
We're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah, she's your problem now. In more positive news, well, no, we got to get to the negative first. Vince McMahon. Where do we even start here?
Oh God.
Where
I,
do we
I'll
start?
I'll start right now with saying that everybody was kind of overreacting at like, well, even when it was just rumored last week, people were just overreacting, and then when it actually happened, people doubled down on overreacting. Um, I definitely think now that I've been hanging out with like you and like a lot of the people in the Discord or whatever, I just like to wait for the facts to come out. And the facts did come out, and nobody decided to read it.
No, not at all. It was reported that Vince McMahon last month wanted to come back to the company in some capacity, and this week he made it happen. He actually basically he pulled out his owner card. Of course, he has the most shares here in WWE, which is a publicly traded company. He fired two of the board members and then brought on Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, who they fired literally like a year ago to replace them in the board, basically reinstating him as the like the one of the key members of the board again, regaining his ownership of the company, and his reasoning being that he wants to be there as the company sells. So what I'm seeing now and what I'm hearing is that the actual sale, if they want to do that, and they do have a couple of people, and Vince has said that in I believe in his press release, which he released through the Vince McMahon company, um, he said that he wants to basically usher the sale in and be one of the main contributing factors to it and handle the negotiations. And basically, he wants to sell the company and be the one that's there to do it. There's been a couple of companies that have been we actually talked about it last week, that have been kind of batted around in terms of whether they want to buy them or not. Comcast, of course, NBC Universal, Netflix, Amazon, uh, fucking everyone has been on Disney. Everyone's been rumored to buy WWE. We don't know when that's supposed to happen, but apparently it's supposed to happen within the next couple of months, if it's going to happen at all, because their TV rights deals are coming up. So right now, Vince is in control. A sale would mean that they'd have to renegotiate whether it be public, private, and really whether Vince McMahon would still have ownership of the company, which we still don't know. If he would be able to do that or reinstate himself into the company. It's a lot of stuff in the air. We don't know. I mean, a lot of people are figuring that he's doing this in order to sell the company and get back into the head of creative. He says he doesn't want Vince, or Vince himself says that he doesn't want Hunter, Steph, or Nick out of their positions. He just wants to make sure the sale goes through. What
That
do you
was
guys?
like that quote that you just said was literally in the first press report. No, none of these journalists even put that shit out there. They didn't say this was the quote that was on the thing. They just said Vince is back. It's a hostile takeover. Blah blah blah. This and that. And it was just like, please read.
Reading is not fundamental with them. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, the general, I guess, viewpoint from within the company is that it's business as usual. They're going forward as if it's just the regular stuff that's going on. And right now, you're left with a lot of questions. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Vince wants to eventually kind of weasel his way back into creative, which I feel as though it end up with more problems with the board if he tried to do that. Obviously, when he stepped down with the, I guess, like the promise that he would not try and go back into creative. He would only kind of keep his shares and be on the business side of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you sell a company, a lot of those things get rejiggered and they get redone. I don't know if that still stands or that still stays, but I would see that he would have a lot of leverage by saying that I was the one who helped get this sale. I want to be head of creative, or would he stay on the business side? We don't know. But what we do know is that the company, they what has been rumored is true. That they are looking for a sale, and he wants to be the one to do it. So from now to June, when they redo the rights deals, because we usually find it around the summertime, that's going to be the issue here. And from that, there's actually been another lawsuit, or the lawsuit that they had brought up last year when he stepped down is now starting back up. There was a share one of the shareholder derivative suits where they basically said that Vince had that he deceived the shareholders by basically paying the hush money, and they were trying to figure out if it was through the funds of the company. That lawsuit's now started back up because he's done this.
That's like my initial reaction. It was like, all right, he rightfully so. He wants one more like payday, which I get. Like, this is the thing you built. You want to oversee that. But what I don't get is, like, for someone who is as smart as a businessman as him, how do you not see that what you have ongoing outside of this, what led you to have to step down, is still lingering? So, like, yeah, you want to be involved with this sale, but are you not actually messing up the money by being involved with it while having everything going on?
Yeah, just because wrestling fans as a whole don't care, and again, like Meelz has always brought up how this it's like a cognitive dissonance between what other powerful rich people do and the response that they get, and how Vince McMahon did what he did, and they were still cheering him. You know what I mean? Like, is that because his character is so intertwined with his real personality? They think that it's a storyline. You know what I mean? Like, they don't think that it's people don't think that it's real. They think that it's a joke. And but it's like you said, Duggar, it's actual real life shit that's still going on, and he's playing with it. And I think that they could come back to bite him in his ass. Like, obviously, yes, he has the rights as the person who has the most shares. Anyone who expected him to just give his shares away in shame and disgrace, you're wilding. He's not going to do that. No one would ever do that, especially when there's so much money put into it. It's still his company. But the question with me comes in, like, why do you feel like you still need to be in creative? You don't need to be in creative. The show's actually better off without you. Like, I'm having a much better time now without you. We're seeing people at the top that we would never see. We're seeing initiatives that they're running right now that we would never see with him on top. Why don't you just get your money and leave? I don't know if he's going to do that.
I hope he does that. I feel like the common sense thing is to just get your check and be out. And maybe I'm putting too much. I don't know him. None of us do. But I
No.
guess rather than going with the knowing Vince negative side, I'm going to go with the knowing. Maybe I know Vince, but maybe hoping he got common sense thing is just like, all right, just come get the paycheck and be out.
Yeah,
You don't need to do anything else.
This is a guy that flies too close to the sun often. And it is going to it's going to be a dangerous kind of tightrope that he's walking in trying to stay on this company without, you know what I mean, with that. Like listen, Vince, you've done everything, bro. You have done everything. You've done it. You win. Go off into the sunset, bro. Like, this, I don't feel like this is gonna. This is like when in Breaking Bad, and Cyrus, you just finished this when he goes to when Walt goes into hiding and he says, "If you leave here, you will get caught." Like, the dude tells him, "If you leave here, you will get caught, and I will not be able to help you." And I feel like this is Vince. And this is Vince going out, seeing, you know what it was, you know what it is, Cyrus? It's him seeing the gray matter thing on TV.
Ooh,
and then drinking and then calling and calling.
Showed up at Stephanie's house with the laser pointers.
With the laser pointer. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I'm sorry. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I'm sorry. Guys, this is complete spoiler for the final season.
But, you didn't have to say it was the final season. Now they know it is the spoiler.
Well, you should be watching. But this is Vince in his full Walter White trying to come back and end the story on his terms, and I just don't think it's going to happen the way it is.
Well, it might not fare out like completely in his imagination, but like if the company sells and it's the deal that he negotiated, and him and Nick Khan, they do whatever, they do their special magic to get another $1 billion again. And then he's like, I'm out. All right, I'm going back home. Send me the Zoom link. Then we're good. Like, I saw a lot of people like overreacting, like with him, like, oh, he showed up at like the headquarters or whatever. It was just like, oh, maybe he was tired of the Zoom meeting, man. My nigga meant business is done.
I mean, listen, we're not gonna keep the guy who, like, no matter what we say, we're not going to be able to keep the guy. He was not effectively fired from the company. He retired and stepped down from the creative side of it. You know what I mean? And that's really just what he did. And it'd be crazy to think that he was going to go out without a fight here. I just don't think that he's going to win this fight.
Yeah, and whatever the business thing that goes on, that's like out of my realm. I'm not a business person, but like he doesn't. I don't. Knowing Vince, I don't see him just being like, all right, Triple H, get the fuck out of here. Like that just doesn't seem like a thing to me, And then if he makes the sale, whatever, I don't think he takes control of creative, because now he's going to be making even more money doing significantly less work.
Yeah, I think I saw last night somebody said that if they sell, he makes $9 billion off of the sale.
And that's why he's back.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I know a lot of people were worried about like, I saw some motherfuckers say pray for the wrestlers now that Vince is back. I said, dog, please read. He's here for the money moves, bro. Like as a wrestling fan, I don't really know what a board of directors is, bro. I just know they at the top.
Yeah,
if the board of directors is not in the ring, bro, I don't care.
A guy named Fight Oracle was doing the numbers yesterday, and he said this was kind of like an aggressive back of the envelope scenario, meaning that he just basically are just throwing the numbers at the wall, basically through the actual earnings through 2026, 27, 28 that he made up, basically at $110 per share of a takeover and 88.2 million diluted shares. That's $9.7 billion. Vince owns 28.7 million shares. His take would be $3 billion. I'm sorry, it was actually 3. So Stephanie McMahon will walk away with 211 million because she owns 1.924 million combined Class A and Class B shares. I mean, this is just a complete kind of prediction, but Vince would be making in the billions if he were to cash out here.
And that is why he is back.
And if that don't affect the books, then I don't really care.
Yeah, right. This was a way for him to get out of the business in a way that his father could not. And that is as a billionaire. Regardless of what he did, you got to see the greed there. Obviously, that's what he wants to do. And
he wants his money.
And like I said months ago, like this is a tragedy of his own doing. You know what I mean? The way that he has to go out now and kind of backdoor his way back into the company, this is something of his own doing. He fucked this up. You know what I mean? He could have went out a lot more heroically than he's going out right now. I just want him to stay away from the books. One more thing, and no holds barred before we jump to the shows. WrestleMania 39 breaks the all-time gate for a WrestleMania show. The previous record was $17.3 million. This gate was like 18 million, I believe. This is before a match has been announced, y'all.
Insane.
Fire. I can't wait to be there. And then also just breaking news. AEW Fight Forever cover art has been updated, and you won't believe who's gone. I'm looking at it right now, and it's I honestly do think it is a better cover, but I just think it's hilarious because CM Punk was like at the top and in the middle of it, and now he just disappears.
That is so sad. Wait a minute, $59.
They charging you what now?
They charge you. Oh damn! They giving the last gen price. That's still too high.
When is it supposed to come out?
Nobody knows.
Does it say on the Amazon thing?
On the Amazon thing, it gives the placeholder of December 31st. That's the placeholder when they don't know what the date is. Good luck at that price point. Good luck at that price point. I don't know, man. It's coming out on a lot of systems, my guys. It's coming out on PS5, Switch, PC, PS4, and Xbox Series. Listen, fellas,
I'll get it on Game Pass.
That's a lot of dev. That's a lot of dev time, guys. Like that's a lot of dev systems, and that's not a big team. Ukes is not a big team. I just worry about their sanity.
Nah, I don't.
Rest in piss.
I remember 2K20, bro. Rest in piss, Ukes.
Also in WWE news, Money in the Bank was actually announced to be emanating from the O2 Arena in London this year. I won't be able to go for sure, but that's pretty fucking exciting.
That's fire.
Yeah, I'm glad the international folks get their pay-per-views.
And a big one too, and they get to get like basically what we call like a big five in Money in the Bank. So man, shout out to everyone in the UK that's going to be able to go check that out. Let's get into the shows, man. Let's get into it. SmackDown first. Very I was shocked Roman Reigns on the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was shocked that he showed up.
First show of the year. I feel like they were just like, hey, can you at least start the year? You know, would it be nice of you, young man, to come to work on the first Friday of the year?
Yeah, for sure. Like I thought it was dope. And then he had that moment with Sami Zayn. We're starting to see some cracks in the armor here between the honorary Uce and Roman Reigns. I'm loving the fact that, again, as soon as Jay bought in, Roman Reigns was starting to check out on Sami.
Mm-hmm. I like that, because now it's just like you had to, like, Roman Reigns liked you and you had to gain favor with everybody else, and now that you gain favor, Roman's out, and then like the people that you gain favor with doesn't have a vote.
Yeah.
So you wasted all that time trying to be Jay Uso's friend when you could have just stayed loyal to the, should have just said, fuck it, the tribal chief liked me, and then we could keep it pushing.
Yeah, and now he's not even a made man yet, and it's now all hinging on him being the made man if he can take care of this KO problem. We got some really good stand up from Roman here, some SNL from Roman.
little monologue. This is acting real.
Yeah, this little monologue from Roman here. The screaming. We got to see Psycho Roman a little bit, and you can tell that Roman is starting to break, and KO is the reason that he's starting to break. Is KO to you guys the most consistent like opponent for Roman? I won't say he's the best, but I would say he's the one that's gotten under Roman's skin the most out of everyone else.
Well, I don't know about the getting under the skin part, but as like a consistent rival, like him and Brock are like definitely up there.
I would say that. I would say yeah, because I think more times than not, when it's him and Brock, they usually just save those two for like Mania season. And then I know they've had like I think they've had like 2 SummerSlam matches and then like some Saudi, but usually it's like big season type of thing for those two, where like KO, they kind of have different interactions, especially like through like the last 5 years. I know they got some Royal Rumble matches, but then like I know we were showing it in the Discord, like they have like the Roadblock, so they've been very much in each other's way in the past few years, and I think after the pandemic is when I kind of appreciated it more. Of like, man, y'all really be doing this, because like they even have like a random cage match on SmackDown during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So you got to give it to them there.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they have a lot of fucking matches together, and they're all really, really good. I know that the Royal Rumble match is it's not going to be any different. It's going to be a fantastic match. So basically, like, the match is. Did you guys? They didn't catch this, and I don't know if people remember this, but like Reigns said he'll give him the shot, and if Owens leaves forever after he loses, but it's like the wording was vague, and they didn't actually put this on the actual marquee for the match that if Owens loses he has to leave. Did you guys catch that part?
I remember him like saying the quote because it was in his Psycho, but I didn't hear about like there being like a stipulation or anything of that nature.
Very, very weird that Roman would say that without the stip. Maybe they just changed course and were like, we're not trying to do title versus career. Maybe Roman might have flubbed that a little bit, but he did weirdly say that if Owens loses, he has to leave forever. I'm like, leave what, SmackDown, or leave the company?
leave him the hell alone.
I think that's what it was. I think it was just like, I want you out of my life type of thing.
That would make sense, because this would push the KO and Sami stuff away from his orbit, and he can focus on the Rumble winner. So that would make sense as well. Probably the Riddle stipulation for him is what they need to put up there for the marquee. We also had Kofi versus Santos Escobar, which I thought was really, really good. I think Escobar is getting really, really big wins. My concern is that I want him to actually have a focus at some point. I know they might be waiting for the Intercontinental title to get out of the logjam between the heels that has it right now, and the babyface is probably about to get it. But I would love to see him in contention for a title pretty soon with all the wins that he's getting over former champions.
I'm liking it so far, and then I'm noticing that in every match that's kind of happening, like between even SmackDown and Raw, there's always a spot in the match where somebody goes over the top rope, and then the wrestler goes, "You see, I'm gonna eliminate your ass when I see you, boy."
And then the wrestler's face is like, "Oh."
Yeah, because Kofi did his things in this match or whatever, and Santos was like pissed off, and then what is it? Santos hit the floor, and Kofi was like, "Got your ass."
Yeah, no, I thought that was. And again, Santos's facials are very, very good in this match. And Kofi's bulletproof. I mean, I can't think of anyone that could take a loss like that and not really lose anything. They're more focused on NXT right now anyway, so he could have lost this match and nothing would have came from it. Also, Pretty Deadly showed up on WWE house shows last weekend. So
they've been ready, man.
Hey, I literally said this at the last pay-per-view. I said, why are they still here? These things should be on the main roster at this point. Emma and Madcap versus Karrion Kross and Scarlett.
boy. Talk about wanting to flip the channel and find something else.
I thought Scarlett was actually really good. I think that she should wrestle more often because she looked good out there. This is really more of a showcase for her because Kross just came in there and basically squashed Moss for the win. When is Ray going to be clear to wrestle? Because this has been teased for like 2 months.
Yeah, Karrion Kross spinning his wheels right now, waiting for Ray to show up.
Yeah, I know that they wanted this to be like a big program for him, and Ray getting injured in the middle or in the beginning of it kind of fucked everything over. But I've seen Ray with Dom more, and they're not even on the same show than I've seen with him and Karrion. And I'm just hoping that they can get this match done at least Royal Rumble, and we can kind of see how that's gonna look. Charlotte comes through. She has an impromptu match with Sonya Deville. How are we feeling about babyface Charlotte right now?
Memphis was fucking with it, and so was I.
All right, y'all love it till y'all don't love it.
Whoop that trick.
I was never. I'm not a big Charlotte hater, but when Charlotte starts really mowing down people that she probably like shouldn't, then it'll be like, all right, what are we doing here? But for this, I loved it because I'm not a big fan of Sonya Deville anymore.
Yeah, I've never hated Charlotte. I think the only time I found Charlotte maybe a bit annoying, and I don't even think it was her. I think it was just, what was it, a few years ago, and like her and Sasha were trading the titles like 4 weeks straight on like every Monday Night Raw. There was a new women's champ, and I was like, wait, what are y'all doing here?
They were stat padding the fuck out of Sasha on that joint,
right? But now that it's one of those things where like you kind of don't, when someone's around so much, you don't appreciate them until they're gone. So when she was gone, you just found your moments of like, damn, this is where they need Charlotte. So now that she's back, I'm with it. I don't know about this new music though. I think it's going. I didn't realize she had new music until like this last episode. I was like, oh wait, they changed this. But yeah. I'm all in for it. I'm with it.
I say the same thing. Y'all love it till y'all don't, and she's beating everybody that y'all like.
Right now, she beating people I don't care about. I'm waiting for the first story to come from this because right now Sonya Deville was just kind of just like hey man, I need a D-Rust real quick.
Yeah, the match was fine. Charlotte's fine. I need to see the first victim. Lacey Evans still not on SmackDown. Moving on. Ricochet and Top Dollar leading to the Hit Row heel turn. I honestly don't think that they're any better as heels as they were as baby faces. What do you guys think?
I don't think anything of Hit Row at this point, honestly.
I'll say this. I went to a WWE live event not too long ago, and I saw Maximum Male Models versus Hit Row. And you know who got a way bigger reaction? Maximum Male Models. Hit Row is not working for the people. And I think now it's either, I don't want Hit Row to get fired or whatever. Like everybody else is like, doing that weird shit. But it's just like, if this heel turn doesn't work out, they need to be a main event on Hulu exclusive.
Wow.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's just everything about them just screams that like this gimmick is just a gimmick and it's not really like, why are they wearing chains that look like they come from the arcade? Like, the arcade machine where like you kind of have to pick it out of a bunch of other toys in there. And sometimes you might get something, sometimes you not. That's what it feels like. It feels like they won like a bunch of tokens at Dave & Buster's and they're like, I want that chain. And that's what they're wearing. Like, it doesn't look like they went to like a real like jeweler to get these things done. And everything about them is just like, it's not hitting, you know?
And I mean, good for Ricochet for winning for winning that match, but I think Top Dollar in just 2 minutes gave Ricochet probably his worst match that he's had in like 3 months.
Oh
And
yeah, it was really bad.
like it was a bad match. I said this a couple weeks ago. I still stand on it. They need to break these guys up. They need to break them up. Um,
Really?
they need to break them up. I think they need to break them up. I think Bree should go to um I think Bree should go to NXT and help bolster that women's division if she's been training with Natty that much. I think Top Dollar should be his own person and he should have his own character. And I think that Ashante should go back to NXT too.
I know I got a lot of flack in the Discord for saying this, but I think Ashanti Adonis has like the most potential in Hit Row. He just needs to get out of Hit Row.
Well, and you know what? I say taking him back to NXT. Maybe I'm wrong for saying that. He could be a good solo act. He just needs a different character,
Yeah.
or a different tag team partner. I think that we do not know their character, so them turning heel on a dime just because of a bot,
Jokes.
yeah, just because of jokes is a lame lame motivation to me. I don't like the
Yeah.
motivation behind it, and I felt like them bringing out Braun Strowman and then having Top Dollar run away when he's supposed to be kind of like a dominant guy buried him even more. I felt like.
Also, what is it? Michael Cole mentioning the botch. I know it's part of the story, so they kind of have to mention it. But it's just like, you know, when like everybody's like saying a joke and then a company like co-ops it or whatever, they start using it in tweets, and it's just like, the fun's over. That's not happening with Top Dollar, bro. We still gonna clown this motherfucker into the end of time for that botch.
Yeah, and
man.
and the thing is that this is the one moment where I think going viral actually kind of hurt him, and it actually did kind of like hurt him a lot in terms of like people are not going to forget this, like you said, but also like your skills don't match up to
it doesn't make us forget.
It's not going to make us forget because you're not like Ricochet could botch, right? But we know he cold in the ring. We know he cold in the ring. Well, Ospreay could botch. We know he cold in the ring, so that's fine. You know, Kenny Omega, everyone gets the benefit of the doubt. Top Dollar's not going to get the benefit of the doubt because he talks too much shit, and he's not as good as he thinks he is. It's what it is.
It's I don't know if they kept them together, it's one of those things where like it, and not to say that they miss Swerve because they don't miss Swerve, but I think if anything, they need someone to actually like lead them and be like an actual face of the group because it can't be them two.
Yes.
Like there needs to if they're gonna keep them around, there needs to be like a fourth member who is like a bona fide can get the crowd over, and they can just be like Hitman or something.
That would have been fire. But like since BFAB essentially doesn't do anything besides like, you know, interfere or whatever, she should have been that mouthpiece for them. But like it's just like I don't think either of them are equal to like lead this group.
No.
Yeah.
Main event: Usos versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Really good time. I mean, they gave him a lot of time. Really good match. My favorite spot was the 1D near fall.
Yes.
That was such a good near fall. But there's only so much they can do in these matches to make you think the Usos are going to lose. I mean, obviously it's not going to be these two, and we'll talk about it on Raw as well. But you know, Sheamus, they finally got this match over with. McIntyre should probably go take a break, maybe, because you keep
you keep saying you're hurt.
Yeah,
and then you're back.
Like I feel like it was a great TV match. I feel like it would have really went over on a pay-per-view, probably a lot more if they would have saved it for a Rumble or something. I feel like it would have got through the point. They actually, I feel like they ended the show way too close to 10 because they had to do the Viking Raiders run in as a digital exclusive.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that happened. So when I saw people talking about the Viking Raiders, like they was on the show.
Yeah, because I think the match ended right at like 9:59, 10 o'clock, and I think they were like, "Oh, we went over time. We'll just move the Viking Raiders shit to after the show." I think the Vikings, good for them. I think that this is going to be a hard hitting feud for them if it ends up being McIntyre Sheamus, or even if it's just McIntyre and the Brutes versus them. I think it'll be extremely entertaining. This should this should probably be kind of an inroads to Sheamus getting that Intercontinental title in sometime soon. I would imagine, if the idea is this week you're actually going to have Gunther lose and you're going to make it a big deal. So I honestly feel like Gunther should be in the Royal Rumble this year.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
I think a lot of the mid card guys should probably not have a match on the show in the Royal Rumble. Is that crazy?
Yeah. No, you're right. I think a lot of them are needed. I think we got a deep roster, and I think it would be crazy if they did not put Gunther or somebody into the Royal Rumble slot. But yeah, that was SmackDown. I thought it was a fun show. It was a really fun show. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. We're getting into the Royal Rumble. A lot of people are saying they're going to be in the Royal Rumble, which is cool. So we got three people that announced they were going to be in it this week. Mm-hmm. Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley. Not many women are saying they're in it so far.
Didn't unless they already mentioned it before, but like Candice LeRae and Rhea Ripley were also just like, well, I'm going to eliminate you in the Rumble.
Oh yeah,
I think on SmackDown, Liv I think announced she's in it.
She did, and Liv did announce she wanted to be number one, which I wonder.
Wait.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, she wanted. Yeah, nah. I'm gonna save my opinions on that one.
So in the Discord, right, on Monday afternoon, a lot of us said, "Oh man, where's Baron Corbin at?" And I call this the Discord curse, because sure fucking enough, at 8:00 he was on my fucking TV screen, and I wanted to nuke the whole channel. Now, mind you, I want to nuke the Discord often, but I wanted to nuke it extra after seeing Baron Corbin on my TV screen against Kevin Owens. It was a TV match, man. You know what you're getting with Kevin with Corbin. You know what you're getting with Kevin Owens. This only was to serve the purpose of the Usos coming out and for them to get thrown out, so that Solo could get put in the match with Dolph Ziggler. Completely random that they remembered that from 3 weeks ago. I didn't even remember that shit from 3 weeks ago. But that shows you that the continuity editor is doing his motherfucking job.
Hey, he doing his job, but he doing it wrong, because I did not want to see fucking Solo Sikoa versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like this episode of Raw.
They set up like 3 matches from that one beatdown 3 weeks ago.
I remember Adam Pearce being like, "You're taking on Dolph," and I'm like, "When did these two even have an issue?" Like, even Dolph was having his promo with Ali, and I'm like, "Y'all had beef? Why did I not remember this?"
They all got beat up, and I was like, "That was
this is smoke."
I gotta hand it to them for actually remembering this and making programs with Elias, with Dolph, and with Ali based off of that that continuity from that beatdown.
Hey man, shout out to
I think I just forgot that Dolph was one of them that got their ass beat. Maybe that's what it was. I forgot Dolph was part of the group. I remember everyone else getting ass beat. I was like, wait, Dolph was there too? Dolph just be there.
Yeah, he was off in the corner getting his ass toe down. We also had Bayley versus Mia Yim. They keep calling her Mi Chen and Mia Yim. I need them to kind of like settle on one name so that I know what to call her weekly when we talk about her.
Mm-hmm.
How's her return been to you guys?
Kind of like I would say like kind of mixed, but I do like that she's part of the OC. Like, I think that's really cool. But this match here was another no for me, and then like the commentators also just like, ugh.
I like that she's getting TV time. I think the big thing with a lot of the people that got re-signed here is giving them a chance on the main roster. And I feel like Mia Yim wasn't given a chance. And I would say that the fact that she's facing off against the Baileys, she's in the War Games matches, all that stuff, that is a net positive. That's a net positive for me. And I think that I think they've done right by her in that sense. And they put her on TV every single week, and she's always featured. She was made to look like a real threat for Rhea Ripley. And I thought that was pretty dope. They announced that Johnny Gargano has a shoulder injury, I believe it was.
Yeah. AC
injury, yeah.
I'm not sure if it was a sprain or a tear or something like that, but I know it was like a shoulder.
I think they said like AC sprain, I think.
Yeah, may have been. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
So Candice LeRae is there holding it down, but you also have Austin Theory. I'm gonna say it right now, man. He is probably, to me, consistently one of my most bright moments of the show week to week. I think that his promos are good. He fights off the what chance. He actually stopped the what chance. this week, which I thought was really impressive for somebody his age and for how long he's been there.
It's a sign of confidence.
There's so many veterans today that still can't beat it.
I mean, I remember when goddamn Damian Priest turned into Daffy Duck when he was what?
That what chant had him in the trenches.
Dog, the what chant had him in a chokehold, dog. He was like, I'm not scared of anything that you guys are saying and doing. But
hey, he was sounding like that on Miss TV, bro. I said, "Is this man okay, bro?"
Yeah, bro. Listen, Theory, he good on the promos, man. Seth Rollins comes out. He ends up showing us that his knee was actually not hurt, which was a big conversation in our Discord last week too. And I was like, listen, guys, if he had a real knee injury, that match is getting stopped immediately, and he's not getting chop blocked for the finish. Like, that's just not happening, bro. But we also get a really good babyface promo from Rollins, and it leads me to wonder, with the imminent, and let me tell you, it is imminent that they're going to announce that Cody is coming back next week. It is very imminent with the last part of this, right? That they're going to announce it. It's fine. Like I said, don't make it a surprise. If they're going to announce that he's back at Royal Rumble, I would rather them do it this way. I'm cool with the Triple H vignettes.
I was just like, let's just get it out of the way. I just thought that thing went like way too long, and I was just like, is this like half of a WWE 365? Like, maybe we could cut this motherfucker down, man. Like, that felt like a snippet of like a documentary that they have in the tanks, and I was just like, I would prefer they would just release the full documentary after the Rumble.
You got to fill TV time. You can't have the fans looking at a Titantron for 15 minutes. So I get it. That wasn't even a 15-minute segment. It was like 3 minutes. But like, at the end of the day, I'm worried about where Seth goes as a babyface here, because I don't want him to get turned. I think that he is firmly, people want to cheer him. If you make them go back to boo him, I think that the reverse would happen and they start booing Cody.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know when they start that over. And then my question is, whenever they do, Seth has to win.
Yeah,
but that messes with everything Cody's got going on. So
I would keep him up. I was of the mind that they should do like a Triple H Stone Cold No Way Out, one final match, just the blow off. I'm of the mind that they should keep them apart until after Mania, and then they have a title feud, babyface, John versus Brett. Like, that's where I was thinking. Because the thing is like, I know people are like, oh, I don't want to see it again. Trust me, people want to see this again. This is the feud. It's the feud that could carry the show.
It currently doesn't really have a true conclusion, so why wouldn't you want to see it?
Exactly.
Right.
Then the conclusion needs to involve something that has stakes with it. And if they could do 3 matches without stakes, they can do another 3 with stakes. I think it's fine. You can give them stipulations. You can give them anything. These guys just work together. You know what I mean? And I think with Seth, you have to have him prove himself by beating him, but trying to finally beat him on his own accord without underhanded tactics. Do not. I'm begging them. Do not turn Seth back to a heel, because you will have the adverse effect on Cody Rhodes' return if you do that.
Would you want them to do like a face versus face, and then like I know maybe Cody could work a little bit heelish because, you know, everything that Seth Rollins did to him in that Hell in a Cell, and then like on that Monday, but like at the end of the match they like shake hands or some shit.
I mean, yeah, I think that would be better off. I still got Cody and Seth in the final 4 of the Rumble, in my opinion, but you know, we'll see where that ends up at. You also have the return of Bobby Lashley after a couple weeks off, and the further tease rather of the Hurt Business coming back into play. I'm interested. I'm into it. I'm into Bobby not fully being into it too, right away.
Yeah, I really appreciated, like we were talking about before, like the continuity of like Bobby being like, I ain't forget what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was good.
The continuity of letting us know that MVP is the person that got him his suspension revoked too. Like that was a moment.
I want to see how long they're able to like stretch this out, because like sometimes they're just quick to like, you know, get the group back together. So I'm curious to see how long they play this out, but I'm excited about it.
This is where the continuity man come out. You feel me? He gonna do his damn thing.
About to be in
Absolutely.
his bag.
We got some stuff with Bronson Reed that I'm gonna say right now. I didn't hate it. I like it was
You didn't hate it.
it was odd that
What?
why you hate it.
I've just never. This is one of those things where like I'm gonna trust WWE to just win me over. I've just never cared for him. Like I've just never. I understood like the whole like thick boy gimmick and all that, but I've just never have cared for Bronson Reed. So when he showed up, I was just like,
But he
oh,
didn't even
okay.
No.
he
All
didn't
right.
even do nothing here.
Hold on,
Like
hold on, hold
we were
on.
just talking.
I'll take the sword here. I what the reason why I don't have a problem with this is that like like Justin was gonna say, he didn't do anything yet. I think the only thing that I found really funny about like the whole thing at the beginning of the segment is that like they're playing all old ass NXT footage. I thought that,
Right.
but like I thought that shit was hilarious though. But you see that Dexter Loomis was getting paid getting paid, but he was going to get paid dumb bread for working for the Miz, and now that position has opened.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna take that,
Well,
and
he did. He
hopefully I
did
get
take
paid.
it. He
Yeah,
did take
exactly.
it. He said, the
You
only
want to be
time.
a hitman?
Yeah, he said the only time you'll need me is when I is when you pay me, and I think that's a really really dope, like what I'm saying, a really fucking dope way for him to have a relationship with Miz that isn't the same as Champa and isn't the same as Loomis. Is like I like that idea of that story, and that's all you needed to do. Like he's only here for the money. I love him being a hitman. He should be just the big hitman like Rhino used to be back in the day.
And they don't have to. They don't have to say thick boy. They could say colossal again, or they could just call him a hitman, or a goon, enforcer, whatever fucking word that they want to use.
Let me just skip over this Solo Sikoa shit because I never thought he was going to lose this match. Anyway, and let's get to
PS5
really.
was so loud.
The ending was fire though, or at least the way he hit his finisher was fire.
Yeah, it was.
I'll
It
give him
was.
that.
It was. Ziggler, I thought he broke himself in half. Dominik Mysterio is the best part of this episode, bar none. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay.
This kid got it.
Superstar of the year confirmed already.
I love how Dom is truly forming his own character. Like, I think we talked about it on our year-end thing. Like, watching Dominik grow is absolutely amazing. The only thing that I can't stand when Dominik is around is Corey Graves on commentary. Dog, it goes down the toilet, bro.
I liked his out on bail fresh out of jail.
That was a bar.
That shit was fire.
What is it? I just think like because the gauntlet match kind of like went long, so like they really just like they started recycling dialogue. Like this shit was like the video.
Oh yeah. He needed to chill out for sure. I think Corey does tend to do that very often, where he just doesn't know when to just shut the fuck up and just talk about the match. So yeah, you're for sure. He did do that a lot.
Watch this match back and just how many times he says, "Don't let Rhea Ripley hear you." Dog, your liver will be quaking, bruh. Shit is nuts.
The tag team turmoil match it went from the Miz TV all the way into the turmoil match. So good producing there by letting it be seamless between Dom's promo and the actual tag team turmoil match. The Judgment Day ran the gauntlet here. Was this the strongest showing they've ever had? They beat every tag team on the show.
Easily the strongest.
Even created doubt, and they still they made it all the way through. Like I was just like, this is kind of crazy, bro.
Dom put himself out there. Listen, Damien's face when Dom had to get in the match.
Put Dominik in or forfeit.
This nigga Damien said, "I'll do it myself." I said,
"Hit the ESTG, bro. I'll shoot it myself, bro."
No, he said, "I don't." He said, "No." He was like, "Don't let him be weak, bro. Like not like because Finn had." And I love the story here of Finn hurting his ribs. This could actually play into the Usos match whenever they decide to have it. I would imagine they have this at Royal Rumble. And then you have Edge come back and Beth come back because I get, or they can have it next week on Raw. Who knows? But I really liked this match. I thought the main event was stronger than probably everything before it. Street Profits did their thing. Babyface Alpha Academy. How about that? They actually worked.
Dog, the crowd went up. And maybe it's just because they were in Alabama. I don't know. But there's just something about Otis and the Worm that set that place on fire. And I didn't expect that.
That had them going crazy, bro.
Bruh, they went fucking nuts over the Caterpillar that night or on Monday night. And more than that, the Profits once again coming up short. You got to wonder if what they feel and how they feel about how they're shaking out here. They've been doing this storyline with them for a while. I would love to see them pull the trigger on one way or another of a more serious, a more grounded Street Profits that are trying to get these titles because they've been kind of fucked over again by some heels. And now you have Judgment Day, heel versus heel team, something the Usos have not really done yet in their tenure as tag team champions, face another heel group. This should be interesting because there's a lot of cheating they could do on either side between the bloodlines. So we do get our bloodline versus Judgment Day stuff.
They're going to get a female member, bruh. And this is where we get Naomi in the bloodline, fellas.
Don't you start. Don't you start.
Twitter always wanted.
Get me the fuck out of here, dog.
Don't you even start that, Cyrus.
I thought the right team won here. It made most sense because we've already seen Profits and Usos a million times in 2022. And we've seen them pretty much kind of face off against a lot of these teams on here before. And hey, I like the ending. I was not very high on this episode of Raw as Cyrus was. I won't say I hated it, but I did feel as though we are treading water because of football. Yep. And we cannot wait until February when we can really get into our bag and we can start dressing. We can't wait to winter so we can really start dressing. And I hope that we don't have too many of these treading water episodes. We need to actually advance some things on Raw. Kevin Owens is pretty much as a SmackDown star at this point.
You might get another one next week because there's definitely a playoff game Monday night. Just giving you a heads up. Yeah. And it's Cowboys. So you might get another one next week.
We are cooked. We're good. No, well, they haven't even announced anything for next week, so like I'm interested in seeing what it is. If you did want to pop a rating, I would put that Bloodline Usos match first in the 8:00 slot if you wanted to pop a rating. But we'll see what they do. SmackDown should be a huge show this week. We've got Gunther versus Braun Strowman. We've got the continuation of the KO and Roman storyline with KO versus Sami Zayn. So we're looking at another stellar show. I think I'm willing to say right now, man, SmackDown is my favorite show to watch weekly. Like it is consistently a funny ass show to watch. Some funny shit happens on it, and I really enjoy the roster there now.
Oh, by far, easily, hands down, my favorite show, and I think it's been this way pretty much, honestly, all of 2022 for the most part. So I don't see it not being my favorite show, but yeah, it's definitely the best.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for being on the show. I got to get you guys out of here. I know I've had you for more than an hour. Thank you guys for popping up on the show last minute. Thank you for winning my contest, my makeshift contest. I appreciate you guys for doing that for me. And for Dugger and Cyrus, I am Justin. We'll see you next week with the return of Meelz in 2023 on the A Show. And until then, peace out, y'all.